Ho ho ho, Jeff Claus here. Back in the day during the holiday season, you'd go to an outlet mall, a shopping mall, or maybe to a few big box stores to buy all of your gifts, but nowadays you spend that time on Amazon. One of the benefits to Amazon is reading the reviews for these products, but some people don't spend that time reading those reviews, and today we're going to look at some of those fun one-star reviews for some products ranging from the $9.99 range up to over a couple $1,000s. Some of these reviews leave you scratching your head while others make you laugh, so if you like this video, make sure you leave any ideas you have down in the comment section. While you're down there, leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel for more, and let's get into these reviews. We'll start off with the Yezi Kids Toy Classical Ukulele. It's a mini toy ukulele, like a little toy thing you'd give to a kid. It says it's a safe ukulele. It's made of friendly ABS plastic material, 4 carbon nylon strings, and not easy to break. But for only $9.99, we'll see if it holds up. With over 10,000 sold in last month, how many disappointed ukulele kids are there going to be? First up is Danielle. My 3-year-old was playing with the guitar when it accidentally slipped and fell onto the floor. Now we're talking about barely a 2-foot soft fall, and this thing cracked. For a child's toy, you would think it would have a strap or be more durable. It literally broke after it arrived. Fools! It broke after her child dropped it, not after it arrived. Technically, it did break after it arrived, but you could say that about anything. Like, hey, this broke after it arrived 15 years later. Alright, moving on. Next up, we have an actual music teacher. Let's see what he had to say. As a music teacher, I would never recommend this to anyone. It is such bad quality it doesn't stay remotely in tune, making it sound awful 100% of the time, which will definitely turn kids off to playing in general. I was curious for the price, but just spend $30 for a decent one. This toy is not made for kids who want to do music. It's actually more made for kids who are big into like pro wrestling and stuff like WWE, and like they want to bust this over their buddy's back from like the top rope. Here he comes. Kablam! Here he is. Boom. Ukulele to the back. If I did these reviews in alphabetical order, Anne would have been first, but I don't, so let's see what she had to say. This is a cute toy, however it is super poor in quality. We had it for less than 24 hours and the glue gave out on the bottom of the instrument. Whew. Not to get too philosophical, but is a toy an instrument, or is an instrument a toy, or can it be both? Or is it a tool? I don't really know, because you can make money with it. Does that make it a tool? But you could hit somebody with it, so that makes it an object. Or am I an object? We're all made of carbon, right? I don't really know. The next item up is the Flybar My First Foam Pogo Jumper for Kids. It is $16.99 right now with over 6,000 sold on Amazon the last month. Advertises hours of healthy, active, non-TV time. It is stretchable and it squeaks when you hop. When I was an actual kid, I had a real pogo stick, and I loved that thing, and I'm still here today, and I was like 5 or 6 years old, but can I still walk? You guys will find out someday. So, let's see what those one-star reviews about it have to say. Susan says, never did it say that this gave a fart sound rather than a squeak. I did not look closely, and it was too late to return. I bought on Amazon Prime Day for my granddaughter's birthday. I looked to see it last week and noticed that the box said fart sounds, not squeak sounds. What a shame. Oh, so it doesn't squeak, it makes a fart sound. It kind of does look like a whoopee cushion box with like a string coming out of it. Not cool, and definitely not cool if it's your granddaughter's birthday and she's hopping around everywhere. Sorry, I just had to make that sound because I just thought about that thing hopping around. All right, next review. Next up is Sharon. This is a complete joke. It is not usable. My 3-year-old grandson couldn't even stand on the stupid thing. And there is no stationary pole, only 2 ropes to hold in your hand. I have no idea what type of child they tested this on. It is a complete waste of money. And this was one of his birthday gifts. There goes $20. I feel like a 3-year-old might be a little too young for this. I mean, you need some sort of coordination to be able to jump and pull on a rope at the same time. So 3-year-old might be a little too young depending on the 3-year-old. So that is a little disappointing, but I mean, it is just $20. From Susan to Sharon to Kathy, we have the Triforce of Grandmas coming together in the Amazon reviews. Let's see what she had to say. Cheesy toy. Seldom does what it says it's supposed to do. Heartbreaking to see my 4-year-old grandson more interested in a mini plastic car. I like that the reasoning is it's heartbreaking to see him play with a plastic toy than the toy that she gave him. Unless she also gave the plastic toy car, then who cares? It's like a $5 little toy car versus a $20 foam pogo stick. Just the grandson being happy is the main point. The grandson being happy is the main point. The grandson being happy is the main point. The next toy up would have just fascinated me and all my cousins as a kid. It is the Force One Scoot Hand Operated Drone for kids or adults. maybe it isn't too late for me. Sitting at a price of $19.30, there have been over 20,000 sold in the last month. That is actually insane. From the way it looks, it has some sensors on it. You can let it go and you can kind of use like the Jedi Force and kind of move it around in the air and stuff. Let's see how well it works for people. First up, we have Doug. I purchased this for my son's birthday and it worked for about a day with the normal amount of abuse, about how you would expect. Then it just started to go up once and it drops to the ground. My son is disappointed that it won't fly. Not a good product. I would not purchase again and would not recommend it to anyone. But it has cool lights. Rutrow. So far, not so good, guys. It looks like this toy is not the greatest. It looks like it flies around a little bit, then just kind of stops working. Maybe it's cheaply made. Let's find out what other people have to say. Jill had to say,
"Work toys that it won't charge or fly."
My grandkids were so disappointed. I read the reviews and sent an email as previous customers said they have fantastic customer service. It's been a week and
No response.
the manual doesn't say not to charge in an outlet, only via PC. So I did, and I think that's why it's fried. Based on what I've read here online, really disappointed, and I will
Not
buy it again.
update.
No response, so I tried again and still would not work, so I trashed it. Piece of junk. I can totally picture me getting this at one of my many Christmases as a kid. Yay, divorced parents. And I could have totally seen us being very disappointed if it flew once or twice and just started getting busted. But I can't imagine any of my grandparents writing a 1-star review, but I'm very blessed that other grandparents have. Let's see what other people had to say. Let's see if it worked any better for Va. We purchased this for our 5-year-old. He was able to play with it for a whole 10 minutes before it would not take flight again. We let it charge and it still just hovered on the ground, bumping into things not taking flight. We had a very sad, upset little boy. Will be returning this. I could definitely understand being an upset 5-year-old, like the package with the cool lights and all that, and you open it up and it just hovers around, doesn't do anything. But if I reflect back to when I was 5 and 6 years old, I'm pretty sure I beat Mario Kart 64 on 150cc as like a 5 or 6-year-old, and the credits rolled and I thought the game broke and I started crying because I couldn't get out of it. Oh, that was tragic, and I was a very upset kid. So maybe he had other things to play with, I don't know, but let's move on. This next toy would have made Kid Jeff lose his absolute mind. That's right, it's the Fuwadivia 3-pack airplane launcher toys. 13.2-inch LED foam glider catapult plane toy for boys. Blah, blah, blah. So it's $24.99 with over 50,000 bought in the last month. Holy Toledo. It's a 3-pack airplane thing, and you can see it's like an airplane launcher thing. You just put it on like a handheld launcher and click it. It shoots 10 to 15 meters, it says. Tips is to shoot it at a 45-degree angle. It can go up to 33 to 49 feet. That would be pretty incredible. I would have been just going crazy with this thing as a kid. Well, let's see if anyone had a good time with it, or is it a piece of junk? Let's find out. Let's see what happened to Dave to start it off. Launcher broke after 3 uses. Bought a replacement. Same thing happened. Fans of my channel might know what clip's coming next.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on you." It fooled me, we can't get fooled again.
That clip almost always works, and it's so funny how wrong he is about the saying every time. Back to the review. When I was a kid, I'd buy these like balsa wood airplanes and I would throw them and they'd shatter on impact, but they were a lot of fun. But this sounds a little bit worse than that even, because they're like $25 and those were like $1 at the hobby shop. So let's see what other people had to say. Next up is GMA. Let's see what they had to say. The launcher doesn't work well at all. The distance is about 4 feet of travel, nothing like the video they use on the product info. Plus on the 4th flight, the cockpit broke off the body. I think it can be re-glued, but this wasn't that inexpensive and it should be made to last longer. Junk, I should have known better. They even provided a picture of the broken cockpit. That really does suck. Does the trend continue with MKE? Broke pretty quickly. An engineer friend fixed it and it works better than originally. Not worth the money. That's pretty neat having like your engineer friend make it into like a better device, but it shouldn't come down to that. But you know, this was probably made for mass production at super cheap. I mean, these things were probably like produced for pennies on the dollar and sold for over $20. So yeah, I can understand why they break pretty easy. Does it get any better for Randy? I bought 2 of these for my grandsons to play with at the beach for Christmas. They are total garbage. They don't work at all. They don't fly well. They don't do anything of the things advertised except for they do light up and they go about 18 inches when you fly them. My husband is an engineer and my son is a professor of mathematics. I think they are capable of figuring out the simple instructions, but the truth is, they are not worth $1, let alone 20. I love how they had to drop their husband and their son's pedigrees, and they're like, yeah, they're smart people and they couldn't figure this out. I don't think it's them problem, I think the product just sucks. We're moving up about 10x in price from the last toy to the John Deere Ground Force Tractor. It's a 12-volt ride-on tractor. Looks pretty sick. Another toy that would have made young Jeff just go wild. Oh man. Current listing price of $263, and there's been over 4,000 bought in the last month, so a lot of kids are getting these on Christmas. But not me. We'll kick it off with JB, which I can only assume stands for Jeff's biggest fan, and one word for biggest fan, and they had to say, my grandson is having a blast riding on his tractor, but me who assembled it, I've never been so frustrated with the directions. Paper directions were horrible, and goggling wasn't any better. The price that I paid, I was expecting the tractor to be more assembled than it was also, but again, my grandson is having a blast riding it. Oh man, this is one of those really funny reviews. The child who's supposed to be the one enjoying the toy just absolutely loves it, but the person who had to assemble it, the grandparent, the dad, the mom, the grandma, whoever, is very frustrated. Oh man, it was hard. I couldn't goggle it. It was very difficult to put together, but you know, good things come with time put into it. Yeah, it could have came more assembled, but it's a freaking John Deere tractor. Next up is Katrina. No, don't worry, it's not the hurricane. It's not even been 2 months and it's broken. It won't go. I bought a new battery thinking that was it. It wasn't. Oh man, if it isn't the battery, it's probably a more terminal issue with one of these things. And for $263, you would hope it'd be pretty durable. I mean, you'd be riding this thing outside, right? Let's see if these problems persist through the rest of these reviews. Harrison has a problem with the safety. Let's see what it was. We've had this toy for nearly 6 months, and at first we used it mostly on perfectly flat land with good results. Once we began to use this on small hills, we noticed 2 major unsafe problems. First, in the slow mode, only one tire drives, allowing the drive wheel to lose traction, which results in the tractor losing traction and dangerously rolling backwards or sideways with no braking in other tires. Even worse is the automatic braking feature. In the direction of travel, the braking stops the tractor on level ground, but doesn't stop with enough force to stop the tractor when on a downgrade. When traveling uphill, if the child lets off the accelerator, the tractor has no reverse braking function and lets the tractor encounter an uncontrolled backwards roll that the tires are unable to stop once moving if and when the accelerator is reapplied due to the tire's poor traction. My child took a spill and was nearly injured and now will be no longer using this toy. It is a nice design with good intention, but I am forced to give this a 1-star review because it is inherently unsafe anywhere other than perfectly flat ground. With an age rating of 2 to 7 years, this should be considered a safety hazard and needs to be recalled. I am considering reporting this to the Consumer Product Safety Commission. I would appreciate a response from the manufacturer. Holy moly. With over 4,000 of these sold in the last month, there's going to be kids slipping and sliding all over the place on grades on these. That feels a little dangerous. I mean, as a kid, you're going to want to go up a hill or down a hill, and if it just kind of slides on its own, you're going to be flipping and flying. Oh man. The next toy up isn't really a toy, but it does sit just under $1,000, and there hasn't been that many sold in the past month, so it's not a big Christmas toy, but just think you live somewhere where it's warm more than like 10 months out of the year, and you got this big bonsai inflatable backyard slide hydro blast with kiddie pool, climbing wall ages 5 and up. I actually had something similar to this growing up called like a bonsai falls. It was really fun, but we had to use our hose water and it was super cold because we had well water, so the water came from like down in the earth, and oh man, that water was freezing cold, but on a hot summer day it felt pretty good. Yeah, so let's see what people had to say about this. We'll start off with a review that also includes a video. I'm just gonna call them M, and they had to say, I didn't want to believe the reviews, but this product is really not worth the money. There were holes all over the seams, air escapes, and it never fully inflated. I contacted seller for return. They never followed up, stuck with $1,500 worth of worthless plastic. Oh man, so during the summer of the oofta times in 2020, this thing was up to $1,500 and it showed up all holed and ripped up. Man, that would be very devastating. You're looking for some like relief at home, for some nice cool water. Like you can't go to the water park or anything, but then you buy this thing for $1,500 and air just leaks out of it. That stinks. Well, let's see what happened with Andrew. My 60-pound kid blew out the seam at the top of the center divider by holding onto it as I slid down. No rip stops or anywhere in the affected area. Don't waste your money unless you're prepared to break out the sewing kit and fix it. Yeah, they definitely don't make these things like they did when I was a kid. We used to be able to jump off the top and we'd yell, "Bonsai!" And you'd jump all the way from the top to the bottom. Even the adults would do it sometimes when they were drinking some beers and stuff, like, like King of the Hill style. Oh, man, I can't, that would bum me out so much if I was a kid and I was the one that busted it. Ooh, Billy bought one back in 2021. What happened to him? Bought one for my 3 and 4-year-old grandsons, only used a few times. Seemed ripped 3 ways. Only 60-day warranty, waste of $1,200. Only 3 uses for a 3 and 4-year-old and it already broke. Ripped 3 ways at a seam. Like, this thing was made so cheaply and hastily. Oh my goodness, this thing is terrible. The next item up is actually $2,000. It is the Segway Ninebot Go-Kart Pro and Go-Kart Pro 2, which I don't know what means that, but it's an electric go-kart. You can go up to 15.5 miles per hour for 14 and up. Ultimate drift experience gaming combo. You can use it like as a gaming setup too. It's very, very interesting, and it's $2,000. That's absolutely wild. So let's look at those 1-star reviews and see if it holds up. There have also been over 100 bought in the past month, so people are buying these for Christmas. We're gonna start off this $2,000 experience with Debbie. Hopefully it's the heir to the Little Debbie Corporation. We have ordered 3 of these go-karts. Only one has worked straight out of the box. Had to send one back because on Segway's app, the go-kart won't come up as an option. Sent it back and ordered a replacement. New one is doing the same thing. Of course, there's 0 support after 5 p.m. on a Friday, so have to wait
again
until someone finds the email on Monday for a $2,000 go-kart. You'd think they'd make sure their product has the correct firmware or software so that they'd work. Since the cart transforms into a standing Segway, I thought, okay, I'll go ahead and choose what the app is suggesting off Bluetooth. The cart took off by itself across the driveway. App telling me to step on the cart. It finally hit a truck tire to slow it down and we powered it off. Kinda dangerous.
Super frustrating.
That all being said, the cart that works is super fun. The fact it doesn't work right out of the box and it also took off by itself is really, really scary. Like, can you imagine that thing just like getting your kid in it, like a 4 or 5-year-old kid, even though it does say 12 or up, and it just takes off on its own? Oh my goodness, that'd be terrifying. But I had a dirt bike as like a 9-year-old, so to each their own. Next up for the go-karts, it's FLA, which I can only imagine stands for Future Limb Amputee. Let's read the review.
Very unsafe.
Harder than IKEA furniture to put together. Ours gets stuck in reverse. Ruined our weekend, will promptly be returned. Luckily, we opened before Christmas and have plenty of time to buy other gifts. This device is
terrible. Update, finally.
Spoke to Segway. The customer service number as provided didn't work, so I had to Google it. The representatives were able to help and recommended it be returned.
It should be bad for false advertisement.
They say it goes 15 miles per hour in one area and 15 kilometers per hour in another. Harder than IKEA furniture to put together and get stuck in reverse. That does sound very dangerous, because if you mess up one part, you could be going down the road at 15 miles per hour and boom, wheel goes off and you're flipping head over heels Frankie Muniz style from that one soapbox derby movie. Not from his current NASCAR career. Let's see what kind of problem Keith had. We bought this expensive toy for our daughter last Christmas. It was great for 6 months, then it broke. We were able to get it fixed ourselves with a replacement part the company sent us. It broke again, different issue. Company is willing to fix it if we can ship it to them. It's very large and I can't find any box to get it shipped without spending $100 on a box. The company will not send us a box. Now I have broken a $1,500 toy that I can't seem to fix. Went to file a complaint with the BBB. They have 350 ongoing complaints. Not BBB approved with a D rating. I'm disappointed Amazon has this product on their website. That's the thing a lot of people don't consider when buying something this large, is to ship something this large, especially back, is going to cost a lot of money. So it's like, is it worth buying it? And for $1,500, a $100 box seems like it's just part of the payment, but man, that does stink. I'm shame on Amazon. Let's see what kind of problem Sam had. I purchased this go-kart twice, and both times the thing failed twice. It basically stopped working and I had to return it. Definitely a product issue and I would not buy it. That reminds me of an old saying in Texas. I'm pretty sure they have it in Tennessee too. So far, a lot of these problems have been different. Anything happened different for Josh? Didn't work after 1 day. Won't hold a charge and beeps weird. No help, and Amazon support is horrible and won't provide a return/replacement. Very disappointed with Amazon and Segway. Don't waste your money sign. if I was like a parent or grandparent or whatever, and I bought this as a gift for my kid or kids or family or something, and it kept failing or busting up or not working correctly, I'd be very, very angry. Like I mentioned earlier, I had a dirt bike as a kid. I'm not really sure how my dad afforded that. We had it for quite a bit, and I was like 9 or 10 when we first got it, and that thing was awesome. It was a Kawasaki 110, if I remember right. It was green. It was pretty sick. And that thing was awesome. It was very reliable. You just filled it up with gas. You'd have to clean the carburetor every once in a while or something like that. I don't know. My dad took care of most of that stuff, but it was pretty fun. It was awesome. I could take it off some sick jumps. I had a lot of fun with it. But I could imagine if I got this as a kid, my dad would have thrown it right into a river or something. He'd been so frustrated with it. Not really. We wouldn't have done that. I'm just exaggerating for humor. And with that last review, we end this video, and you're one of the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful people that made it to the end of the video, and I really, really like you, and that's pretty awesome. If you like this video, make sure you check out my channel for many other videos. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't yet, and subscribe to me if you haven't yet, because I'm Jeff, and I want to keep you entertained for, I don't know, for a really long time, like as long as I can keep making videos and stuff. Alright, see you guys later. Goodbye. See you later. See you later. Pick up, there you are. Hello, it's me. Goodbye.